Welcome to the Cambridge Tech Podcast, talking all things technology from the heart of the UK's tech capital. Here are your hosts, Faye Holland and James Parton.
Hi, I'm Faye.
And I'm James. Okay, so today's episode is going to be a little bit shorter than normal, but that's obviously because we're running around at Cambridge Tech Week, aren't we? So, it's arrived. I'm sure if you've been listening to the pod for the last few weeks, this isn't a surprise because we've talked about it so many times, but it's here and we're running around like crazy people. And we will be back with next week's episode reflecting on what we thought, what we saw, and hopefully bring you some snippets of conversations we recorded. That's your job, right, Faye?
Well, my job, yeah, that's lovely. And I'm just going to pick you up on something. You said we're running around like headless chickens. I mean, that might have been you yesterday, but I'm the proverbial swan, obviously.
yeah, with its head intact.
yeah. I hope so by the end of the week. But yeah, if anyone sees me running around like a headless chicken, just remind me of what I've just said, will you please?
So what have you been up to then?
Well, again, Cambridge Tech Week has taken the large chunk of time, but I have to say, people have come back. It's September and they're ready and raring to go. There's a lot of people wanting to make some real big differences. So yesterday, in the midst of Cambridge Tech Week, I had to present a huge rebrand project for a client. So you know me, I like to do many things at any given time. We've got another tech startup who are just emerging out of stealth, so we're doing a big project with them as well. Had some fun conversations last week with the pitching companies for tomorrow's Innovation Alley pitch competition. Yeah, and just the usual raft of Cambridge Tech Week stuff. And it's kind of really funny, and you'll know this from our many conversations, James, that I seem to have spent all year going, okay, let me just get over this project and then everything will calm down. So my poor husband is definitely about to divorce me again because I'm like, just let me get Cambridge Tech Week out of the way and then everything will calm down. So yeah, fun and games. But you're back up and running now?
Yeah, the shoulder's getting a lot better. I'd say about 70% now. So at one point I was really worried I wouldn't be able to attend Tech Week, but had a big improvement. So that's really good news.
That's great. And I just have to say, this is the perk of audio, that you don't have to see the gestures. James has just been lifting his arm up like he's at some kind of rave. So well done, James.
Yeah, no, that's good.
What have you been up to?
Yeah, well, kind of, since the last episode, it was a little bit of calm before the storm. Prepping for the launch of our new AI hub, which brings together all the kind of AI related activity that's happening at the Bradfield Centre that we launched yesterday. So that was exciting. And before the craziness of this week, just a few nice coffee chats with various people last week. So caught up with Eric Brown, who's ex-Google and now in Cambridge, and we were putting the worlds to rights. And we were pondering things like, maybe it could turn into actually a future episode. Are we too nice? Are we in danger of creating like this false sense of security around entrepreneurship and just how tough and brutal it can be, trying to get a startup off the ground and trying to scale it. These are really difficult things, right? And obviously the data shows you most startups failed. So, are we realistic enough in the way that we talk about entrepreneurship and the way that we teach entrepreneurship? Is it too sugar coated? I don't know. Maybe that's a debate we could have.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting. I know on tomorrow's session on Cambridge Tech Week, the Startup to Scale Up Day, we've got the likes of Beck Simmons and Mark Slack, both of who've been on this podcast, and they will quite openly say that if they could do it again, they probably wouldn't do it the same way. There's a lot of really hard lessons in there. So I think reality is like super important. So yeah, I'm there with you if that's the approach you're going to take.
Yeah, we'll have to think about that one then. We also had Nick and Jenny over from the University Careers Office to run a pop-up at the Bradfield to, just engage with the startups around recruitment, because as we know on every episode and every conversation I have around town, recruitment and access to talent is the biggest issues facing founders. So we're just trying to do as much as we can to strengthen those connections into that world-class talent at the university. So yeah, that was pretty much my week.
Yeah, and you know, those pop-ups, I think they're great in the Bradfield Centre because there's such a mix of different things. So you walk in and there's quite often a desk set up and someone imparting some knowledge. It's a really good extra little thing that you do over there.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. And, well, people that were there yesterday will have started to see some changes happening, actually. So we're kind of partway through a big refurbishment of the reception and atrium and cafe area of the Bradfield. So between now and Christmas, the whole thing is going to be completely refreshed, new furniture, new layout, new designs, new rooms. So yeah, there's a lot going on to keep things fresh.
You just said the C word.
Christmas?
It's just too early.
I'm feeling festive already, actually.
Oh, good. And I'll remind you of that as the months progress, right? And my question then is there still room for me?
Always, of course.
Thank you. That's lovely.
Your throne in the corner is intact.
Oh, God, can I have one, please? Oh, right. Okay, move on. So we're going to run through some news with you. There have been a few updates, obviously, as things start picking up again. And actually, we're going to start with news from an investor. So we're always talking about companies getting investment, and we're going to end with one of those. But actually, Cambridge Innovation Capital, CIC, they've announced some big news in the last few days. So I just wanted to take some time going through that with you. So really, their news is about some senior appointments. So Sir Nigel Wilson, the ex-CEO of Legal and General Group, will succeed Edward Benthall on September the 25th as their chair, while Panos Kakoulis, former Chief Financial Officer of Rolls-Royce Holdings, is named as a non-exec director and chair of the Audit Committee. So many of you will already know CIC is a preferred investor of the University of Cambridge. They have £600 million of assets under management, and they've invested in more than 40 companies, including, again, many of the people we've talked to: CMR Surgical, the robotics developer, microchip manufacturer Pragmatic Semiconductor, and quantum computing business Riverlane. Sir Nigel said, "It's an exciting time to be joining CIC with strong sector expertise and a central position in Cambridge, one of the world's most powerful science and technology ecosystems. CIC has built an excellent reputation and a proven track record of investing in leading technology companies."
That is fabulous news. Moving on, some more investment-based news, which is a massive raise, actually. Cambridge-based AI for material science company, CuspAI, has confirmed a 100 million plus Series A round, led by global heavyweights NEA and Temsec, with a participation from NVIDIA's M Ventures, Samsung Ventures, and new backer Hyundai Motor Group. CuspAI is building an AI search engine for new materials, which enables customers to specify the exact properties they need and generate candidate materials up to 10 times faster than traditional discovery methods. The company was founded in 2024, emerging from stealth with 30 million in seed funding. CuspAI's co-founders are Dr. Chad Edwards, who is a chemist turned deep tech entrepreneur who previously scaled quantum computing unicorn Quantinuum, and Professor Max Welling, a globally recognised AI pioneer from the Distinguished Scientist at Microsoft Research and VP of Technology at Qualcomm. CuspAI CEO and co-founder Chad Edwards said, "Next generation AI compute, clean air, water and sustainable energy, these are multi-billion-dollar global challenges and share a common barrier: materials. CuspAI's mission is to change that. In just a year, we've gone from concept to partnerships with world leaders in automotive, semiconductors, energy and climate, and this funding allows us to scale our platform and deliver transformative materials to market faster. We're grateful for the support of our investors and the strategic backing from our customers as we accelerate to the next phase of our growth."
That's brilliant news. And I actually sat with CuspAI at the 35th Business Weekly Awards yesterday evening. A small world. So, next piece of news, and I love this one. As a marketeer, I love a bit of guerrilla marketing. Our friends over at Innovate Cambridge have launched a latest campaign promoting innovation in Cambridge. And what they've done, it's timed perfectly with Cambridge Tech Week. So there's this whole promotion that's running in King's Cross, Stansted Airport, the Cambridge train stations, and many more locations. So do not be surprised if you're out and about and you start to see these innovation kind of messages popping up and welcome to Cambridge and Cambridge Tech Week. And here's a call to you. If you see one, take a photo and post it and tag in CamTech Week and CamTech Pod, and then we can see just how much reach those campaigns are actually getting. I think that could be quite good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Next piece of news is from our friends at Anthrotech. They shared more this week on their recent 950k fundraising. Co-founder Nasmus shared that all the legal work for the fundraising was handled by AI. Not a penny was spent on legal fees, so that might send some shivers down the spines of any law firms that are listening to the podcast. They used Genie AI, and Genie AI's CEO, Rafi Farrouk, said, "This is an incredible landmark in startup and business history. Startups all over the world no longer have to pay 20 to 30k to do their investment deals. These fees are ridiculous, especially when these lawyers are making minor tweaks to what are essentially standard templates." His words, not ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's an interesting development there. And I guess this is just a sign of things to come, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? You could laugh at this. It's like I'll pop up all over the place. Guess who I sat next to at the Business Weekly dinner yesterday evening? Rafi. There you go. Right, last piece of news. So you gave me $100 million fundraise. I'm going to trump you with the next piece of news then. So last week, UK Science Minister Lord Valens led the praise for Cambridge and Colorado-based quantum computing trailblazer Quantinuum, which unveiled a $600 million global fundraise at a $10 billion pre-money equity valuation. So quantum computer, N Ventures, which is NVIDIA's venture capital arm, and QED investors have joined existing shareholders JP Morgan Chase, Mitsui, Amgen, Cambridge Quantum Holdings, Serendipity Capital and Honeywell, who have all reinvested in this round. It also includes participation from new backers Mesh and Korea Investment Partners. The raise will support Quantinuum's advancement of quantum computing at scale, which includes continued progress towards the upcoming launch of Helios, the company's next generation quantum computing system that is expected to launch later this year. It will also support Quantinuum's path to becoming the first to perform universal fault-tolerant computing. Ilyas Khan, founder and vice chair of Quantinuum, told Business Weekly, "I am extremely proud of the journey that we've taken from those very early days in Cambridge. We still maintain the city as our joint HQ alongside Broomfield in Colorado. And as far as I'm concerned, the quantum computing sector is still in its very early days. The funding we have raised in this round and since the merger of Cambridge Quantum and Honeywell Quantum Solutions created Quantinuum in November 2021 has meant that we can continue to be the global leader and benefit the entire quantum technologies ecosystem." So well done to Ilyas and team.
Yeah, great news. And just a reminder, listeners can go all the way back to episode 26 where we talked to Ilyas, and no doubt some of you will hear him on stage at Tech Week on Thursday. Right, that's it from us. Like I say, a short one this week, but lots of great and positive news stories there to share. We're off to enjoy the rest of Tech Week, and we will bring you our wrap-up of the week next week.
Today's show was produced by Carl Homer of Cambridge TV and supported by our media partner, Business Weekly. The Cambridge Tech Podcast is available on all major podcast platforms and on cambridgetechpodcast.com. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please give it a 5-star review. It'll really help others discover the show.